Stand up, South Africa. Make sure that South Africa, you are counted with me. Rise, South Africa. Stand and make sure that our people understand that they need to be counted.
I'm not a regional leader. I'm international. I can walk into any country. You'll think Michael Jackson, the showstopper, has arrived. In the whole continent.
What if I told you that political movements aren't built on policy anymore? They are built on branding and expensive theatrics. Western media thinks Donald Trump invented the blueprint for the modern political cult. The red hats, the stadium rock concert, toxic, inescapable media loop where bad publicity is actually the highest form of currency. But they are not looking at the southern hemisphere because thousands of miles away, South Africa generated its own hypercharged version of the exact same thing. Welcome, Julius Sello Malema, the commander-in-chief or cult leader of the EFF.
Fighters, the indestructible force of the EFF, the commander-in-chief, our CIC, our superhero is here to fight for economic freedom. For too long, our people have suffered under the weight of economic oppression. But no more. It's time for the number one ground force, our CIC, to unleash our true power. Behold, as we transform into the EFF's mightiest heroes and heroines. With our super strength, we'll crush poverty. Our superior logic, vision and foresight will melt away corruption, and with our reliable ground forces we will shatter the chains of inequality.
Everything starts to look like a Hollywood script and a planned performance. Why does it look like the character of Julius Malema was written by Netflix? This prison sentence isn't a legal penalty, it's a multi-million-dollar marketing campaign. To the cult, the court isn't an institution of justice. It's a stage for a humiliation ritual orchestrated by the corporate elites. Every charge leveled against him doesn't drain his power. It feeds the monster. It's the Trump playbook line for line. Weaponize the indictment, monetize the mic shot, and tell your followers that the system is trying to destroy you because you are the only thing standing in their way.
Julius Malema burst onto the South African political scene on April 7, 2008, when he became ANC Youth League president, controversially beating Sakkie Mofokeng at the league's national elective conference in Bloemfontein. His ascension to league president gave him a platform to reach the masses, something he utilized immediately. Malema stirred controversy not 2 months after being elected, as he backed Jacob Zuma's bid to become president of South Africa by declaring, "We are prepared to die for Zuma," at a Youth Day rally in Tabanshu in the Free State. The ANC brought Malema before its disciplinary committee for allegedly sowing divisions within the party and bringing the organization into disrepute. His charges included criticizing Zuma by drawing comparisons between his leadership and that of former President Mbeki, pronouncing support for Robert Mugabe's ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe, a public altercation with BBC journalist Jonah Fisher, and the singing of Debula Ibunu, despite an ANC order not to do so following the death of AWB leader Eugene Teblanche.
Do you still think this is about elections or actual policy? Look at the mechanics of the FNB Stadium rally. A politician doesn't stand on a hydraulic lift surrounded by smoke machines unless they are selling an illusion of divinity. This is the pop star protocol. Donald Trump turned the presidency into a 24-hour reality TV show where he was the main character, the director, and the network executive. Julius Malema didn't just copy the script, he localized it, supercharged it, and injected it with raw anti-establishment adrenaline, a Gucci sushi eating revolutionary detached from reality of the working class.
That's why today you will have political leaders and political parties attacking South Africans for standing up for their country. A political party, a political leader standing against the people. Then from who are you taking the mandate from? You begin to realize that these people are not what they've been projecting themselves to be. They are gradually coming out to say, I'm not for you. The problem with this democracy that we have and the education, it has produced a lot of stupid intellectuals. That's the problem that we have. This education that we're speaking about of more vets has produced a lot of stupid intellectuals, fools masquerading as intellectuals.
This isn't a political party. It's a multi-platinum franchise. Look at the official 2026 election manifesto that dropped ahead of the November municipal vote. They didn't call it a campaign. They officially called it 2026, the year of victory or death. That's not a political slogan. That's an apocalyptic loyalty test. That is an example of religious psychosis disguised as a political movement. That is the language of an army waiting for orders from a supreme leader and thinking outside the box will sentence you to exile. Welcome to the cult of the EFF.
Julius Malema is sticking to his guns and insists the weapon he fired was a toy. But one of South Africa's foremost firearm experts doesn't buy this explanation.
Just looking at the video, it's quite easy to identify the firearm. I have handled and used these firearms in the past myself, and it appears to be a Saiga 308 caliber rifle. So it's a rifle based on the original AK-47 design.
He says there are clear signs in the video that Malema wasn't firing a replica weapon or firing blanks.
Firstly, when he holds the firearm up to use it, you can see that there's a recoil present in time with the sound of the shots. And any firearm where there's recoil present indicates that it is firing a live projectile. Also, in the shot, you can see that there's a bright muzzle flash on at least one of the shots that's being fired.
He says Malema's actions place the lives of those around him at risk.
Those bullets come down somewhere, okay? It could be the angle he was firing at, those bullets could come down more than 1 kilometer from where they were fired. But still extremely dangerous.
Have you met, I know you've met Malema.
I met Julius.
You met Julius in London, right?
I hosted his first ever lunch in London.
Yeah, I think
and
I
there's
was
this
in Oxford.
photograph of Lord Robin Rennick, who died a month ago.
Yeah, yeah.
My dad, me, and Julius Malema.
Yes, yeah.
He's highly intelligent. He plays to the audience. My father put his hand up and he said, Julius, how can you speak to all of us in an intelligent, sensible way, and yet you go to a football stadium, it's, kill the Boers. And Julius said, I play to the audience. Straight like that.
Is the media panicking or getting excited when he shoots a rifle on a stadium stage or gets hit with criminal sentences? Why does it feel like we are watching a scripted show? But we must understand celebrity culture. In the attention economy, a prison sentence is just a better storyline for the brand. It's a humiliation ritual that is designed to turn a politician into a mythical savior. Today on Plug Law TV, we are pulling back the curtain to discover who holds the puppet strings that control Julius Sello Malema and other politicians. How did a man conquer the media by turning rage into a fashion statement? And what happens when the theatrics don't work anymore? Stay plugged in because this gets really dark.
Let's first of all look at who Julius is.
Yeah.
Okay. My research indicates, but be that as it may, Julius Malema was introduced to MI6, British intelligence, by Rob Hersov. So Julius works for MI6, British intelligence. Julius's function, when the time comes, is to cause chaos with all the uneducated youth. His function is to cause chaos.
I cause trouble. I don't get into trouble. I cause it. Yeah, I take a decision that will cause trouble now.
Yeah. If you listen to Julius Malema on the international stage, he sounds like a prophet. He flies to Kenya, he stands in front of continental intellectuals, and he sells a glorious, borderless utopia. He tells the world that Africa must unite as one giant, unstoppable economic powerhouse. It's beautiful, it's romantic, but there is a fatal glitch in the matrix. How do you claim you're going to unite a continent of 1.4 billion people when you can't even hold your own house together?
My answer is I'm not shocked. The reason why I'm not shocked is because I've been saying this thing, and people say now you hate Malema. That Malema is a dodgy character. And I produce evidence. People don't want to listen. You know, Julius made history. He and his friends were one of the first people to collapse the entire finances of a province, Limpopo, to the extent that it was taken over, the treasury of that province was taken over by the national government. Historic stuff.
Look at the ground reality in South Africa right now. The streets are a mess. In 2026, the country is tearing itself apart over immigration. Patriotic movements like March for March are mobilizing people to demand the government to put its own citizens first. The political center of gravity has shifted towards border control, mass deportations, and absolute nationalism.
With Julius, the issue, he's not a Pan-Africanist, he's an opportunist. He was opportunistically groomed to start talking about that so that he could take the position of revolutionary in South Africa and Africa to shut out other voices that speak like that. How do I know this? Because when I began to make those videos, I used to have videos that would hit 100,000 easily. 200,000, 300,000, 500,000 at that time.
And that's besides being shared on other platforms.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what started to happen is the moment I started making those videos, I got shut down by Facebook, by Twitter, and every platform.
Welcome to my life.
They shut me down. People can't see my videos. People can't find me. But when Julius began to talk Pan-Africanism, they never did that to him.
Yeah.
In fact, the South African media, which is white-owned, which is controlled by the Ruperts, which is controlled by the Oppenheimers, gave him so much platform to speak.